I used to have a lot of animosity for my father. I learned about myself before I could ever even attempt to look at my dad's perspective, his experience, or his motivations for who and what he was. The things that added up to the sum of who he was as a person. He wasn't as hard as he would have liked people to think he was, but he was also afraid to look at the parts of himself that made him that way. I was his shadow, and a direct reflection of him. He was my hero. He was my idol. And he seemed to have better days when I wasn't around him. When I was around him, he blinked a lot when he told me he loved me. And he always thought there was a price tag he could pay for that would make things okay, which I never allowed. We were the same person and the polar opposites of each other. No matter how much resentment I carried for him while he was alive, it paled by comparison to the shame I imposed on myself after he died for never giving him a chance. If there's one regret that I have in this life, it's that my relationship with my dad wasn't a better one. The only thing I can do to make that right with him is to be what I needed him to be for my own children. It's a win that followed a series of losses. I win. And because I win, he wins. And I can't speak for anyone else in this regard, but I know that my dad really wanted to try. He really wanted to. He just never knew how. The best he could do was provide for us with his best efforts. He did that. He couldn't do what he didn't know how to do. And he couldn't teach me anything he was never taught. His father was a wretched shell of a man, and I will never shed a tear for his death. So my father had nobody to learn from. And I had to learn how to forgive my father for that. I love my father. He's been dead now for 17 years. There's not a single day that goes by I don't think about him. There's not a single time I don't think about how I'd love to introduce my children to him, in the hopes that I don't have to punch him in the mouth for the stupid shit that might come out of it. But I never loved him any less. And I never will. I only hope that I can be the father that I needed. I only hope that my children never have to wonder if I love them or not. I don't want them to ever have to question that. They should never question.